Yes, people, what's happening? And welcome back to Gav Goes In. Obviously, we're going to carry on our greats of the game. I'm thoroughly enjoying this, guys, because again, there's a lot of players, man, that I'm literally gonna discuss. And there were so many top players, man, back in the day, and it's good, man, to just remember these players for how good they were. Because this era of football now, as I said, it's a massive struggle, man. There's not really any real quality out there. I mean, there is quality there, don't get me wrong, but it's few and far between in comparison to what was out there back in the day, man. So that's why I enjoy doing talks like this. But anyway, we're going to move on to a player, that was arguably the crown jewel for one of the biggest clubs in the world for I think 14 years he was there for. And I think he's another player that really, in terms of forward players, for me, he was very good. He was very good. Do I think he was one of the best? I don't, but he was a top player, man. And again, in this era of football, just how good could he have been? Because, and it shows you that this era of football is poor, because this player was a top player, but I don't think he was regarded amongst the absolute elites, but he would be one of the top players in this era of football, And as I said, he played 14 years for arguably the biggest club in the world. And, number 7 on his back as well. And, he led that line really for years. And that's none other than Raul Gonzalez. Raul Gonzalez, the King Jewel of, the King of Spain, they used to call him. The King of Real Madrid, the King of Spain. And as a player, as I said, man, that left foot, was a very good finisher. Had very good movement. Wasn't particularly quick or strong, but his intelligence, his eye for a goal, was ridiculous. And obviously that Galactico team of Zidane, Beckham, Makelele, Figo, Ronaldo, Raul was a part of that as well. And regularly played, in the front two with R9, and held his own. And he was a very good player, man, for me. And as I said, he was someone that, because he was Mr. Real Madrid, when you're bringing in Zidane, Figo, Beckham, Makelele, R9, you have to fit all them into the team. And this is why, if many of you don't actually remember, Zinedine Zidane played left midfield for Real Madrid. And many of you probably wouldn't even know that if you're not from the era that I grew up in, or didn't actually realise that, But they had Figo on the right, Zidane on the left, Makelele and Beckham in the middle, Raul and R9 up top. And again, it was more of a case of just put the best players on the pitch and let them work it out, kind of thing, And again, the fact that you had Zidane from the left is because really R9 had to play. Figo was a big name and a big money signing. Beckham and Makelele provided the midfield, you would say dynamism or defensive structure in there and the quality. And then obviously Zidane speaks for himself. So Raul really was the one that made Zidane play out left, really, because in an ideal world, you'd have Zidane playing just off of R9. But because Raul was the captain, he was Real Madrid, he found himself in the team on the basis of that, really. But Raul was a top player, man. Top player. As I said, 14 years at one of the biggest clubs in the world, can't be underestimated. And just going through the numbers, 914 appearances in his career, 383 goals, Real Madrid's all-time record appearance holder as well. I'm not sure if that's changed now, but I know he had the record there. And his numbers read like this. So, obviously, 14 years at Real Madrid, 741 appearances, 323 goals. Then went on to Schalke afterwards, 98 appearances, 40 goals. And remember, he played up top with a guy called Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, if anyone remembers, Dutch international. Then Al Sadd, 44 appearances, 11 goals. And then I think finishing his career at New York Cosmos in America, 31 appearances and 9 goals. Team honours, before that, 102 caps for Spain, 44 goals. His international, his team honours, 6 La Ligas, 3 Champions Leagues, one German Cup and Super Cup, one Qatar Stars League, and then the one Nassau Bowl in America. I'm not sure what that is, yeah? And again, I don't think Raul won any individual, any team honours for Spain. Again, if anyone knows that, or if that he did, then let me know. But I don't think he actually done anything for Spain, which is crazy, yeah? Individual honours, 71 goals in the Champions League. Obviously, that was the record, which was surpassed by, obviously, Messi and Ronaldo. He never received a red card ever in his career, which is crazy, really, you know. But he wasn't really an aggressive kind of player anyway, you know. 2 Pachichis, which is the top goal scorer in the Liga. And then runner-up in the Ballon d'Or, which I never knew. Like, that was crazy, you know. And again, Raul was a top player, but to think that he can run up in the Ballon d'Or just shows you how good really he was, you know. And even someone like me probably missed out a bit on that. But as I said, man, yeah, having watched Raul at Real Madrid, you know, 6 La Ligas, you know, he was instrumental in a lot of that as well. And again, man, great career. Decent numbers, you would say, you know. But in terms of, you know, the trophies won, yeah, listen, man, at Real Madrid, he was dominating, you know, and he was an ever-present as well, Raul. Ever-present, played in different partnerships. I think he played with... Did he play with Fernando Morientes as well? I think he did. Michael Owen, I think he played with. Yeah, he played with a few different strikers, man. No doubt. And yeah, man, he was a top player. As I said, I think in this era of football now, you know, he would be regarded as one of the best, you know. But in the era that he grew up in, you know, he was just looked at for me as just a top player, but not amongst the very, very best. You know, so, yeah, that's that, man. But, guys, let me know what you think of Raul Gonzalez. Do you think I'm downplaying how good he was? Or do you think, you know, he wasn't as good as what was talked about? And let me know if you think he's the best ever striker that that Spain have produced. Let me know, because I disagree. But let me know what you think, where he stands. And... as I said, make sure, as always, you smash the like button, help it to grow, the channel to grow. And make sure you smash that sub to the channel, and you share the channel as well. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Big up yourselves. Take it easy.